In Luke chapter 9, verse number 23, Jesus says, if anyone would follow after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily. Jesus says daily.
Oh, Jesus, how I want to. Oh, how I want to be you. You put everyone first, accepted the worst, and they didn't love you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Jesus, how I want to.
Jesus.
Oh, how I want to be you.
I
You
wanna
put everyone first, accepted the worst, and they didn't love you.
Tonight, I'll tell you that I have to decide if I pick up my cross or shake my head or take on my pride. It's hard for me to imagine that you could give so much, not for your own, but for the sake of others, even as they curse your throne.
Oh, Jesus, how I want
Jesus,
how I want to see.
how I want to be.
Accepted the worst, and they didn't love you.
Does it make sense? Should we pretend the things we do without and sometimes cry about, they're really not the same? Nowhere to lay your head. You slept with no bed. But let me keep in mind, my suffering's way behind. My pain, it can't compare.
Oh, Jesus, how I want to.
Oh, my Jesus,
Oh, how I want to be.
wanna be like you.
Everyone first, accepted the
Yes,
worst,
you
and they
did.
didn't love you.
Oh, that this life is about getting and storing and keeping. That his life is about giving and sharing, sowing and reaping. To the world, even if nobody cares, he will bless you, 'cause it's always a way. Jesus,
Accepted the worst, and they didn't love you.
oh my Jesus,
Oh, Jesus, how I want to.
I wanna be
Oh, how I want to be you.
just like you.
Everyone first,
I
accepted the
choose,
worst, and they
oh I
didn't love
choose,
you.
I choose to follow you.
Can I tell you I'm glad you love me?
Well, welcome and welcome to the Church of Christ Digital Network focus on the National Academy of Christian Acapella Music Artists. It is often referred to as Cama. And this year, Cama 2024 will take place during the Thanksgiving time frame in Jacksonville, Florida. We have some exciting individuals from Cama that we want to introduce you to. We want to show you everything exciting that's going to be happening in Jacksonville, Florida. We have John Edmerson, who is a co-executive producer of Cama 2024. We have Al Pratt, who is also a co-executive producer of Cama 2024. And we have two Cama Award winners. We have Terri Mays and Stevie B. How are you all doing today?
Doing just fine. Good to see you guys.
Great.
Great. I know you all are just as excited about Cama as I am coming in November of 2024. Terri, I want to start with you. You are really one of our vocal gems in the Church of Christ. You've worked with Exodus 2.0. You've worked with John Edmerson, and you've really shaped a generation of members and singers of the Church of Christ. Your voice is really, really special. Who inspires you to do what you do?
Oh, first of all, thank you. It has been a blessing and a privilege to work with as many artists as I have. My inspiration is going to sound like, cliche, but my inspiration comes from God. I live to do what God wants me to do. And so my inspiration just comes from encouraging people and people encouraging me in return.
Oh, that's excellent. That is excellent. And I know you've worked with singer, songwriter, and producer John Edmerson. What is it like to come into that music studio or that vocal booth and just create magic?
Well, I'm one of those people who love working in the studio. Not everyone likes working in the studio because it's just the time to create. My first time being able to go into an actual studio was with John, with Exodus, when we did our first project. And we went in with Johnny Wilder Jr., and that was just totally amazing to be in his presence and then to just work and create. I love it. I just love, it's an art, really. And it's an all night thing. You just stay in there. You forget to eat. You forget to drink. It's just an artistic time. I love it.
Oh, that's great. Now, you mentioned Johnny Wilder Jr. Who else have you had the opportunity to work with?
So I've worked with Johnny Wilder, Jerome Malone, John Poo Malone, Justin Houston, the late Gerald Burnett, missing somebody. Justin, Melody Bailey. Her name's not Bailey anymore, John. I can't remember her last name. But Melody, I've worked with her. Gary Baker.
Leandre.
Leandre. We did work with Leandre. And I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anyone.
Faith.
Oh yeah, my baby. I have worked with her, my baby, Faith Mays. Faith
Oh,
D.
well, I'm sure those collaborations were truly, truly a blessing. Now
Yes.
let's get to talking about Cama. That's why we're here today. What are your earliest memories of Cama?
Oh, let's see. My girls were 8 and 10, I believe, when we went to Jacksonville, Florida, and it was just amazing to get on stage with them for the first time, and being in their little cute little dresses, and it was just amazing to get to see all these people that I've only heard on cassettes at the time, and so to see all these people that I had never met was amazing.
Yeah, I would agree. We had a CAMA informational meeting recently that I was on, and I thought, oh my gosh, it was like Church of Christ celebrities. Oh my gosh, that's so and so, and that's so and so. I was like, oh my goodness, it was just absolutely awesome to really see all the talent that we have in the church. Can you speak to how Cama has really impacted your ministry?
Camera has impacted my ministry in that it gives you exposure to other people, other artists, gives you the opportunity to rub elbows with other people who are in the music ministry. Pratt and his wife and his son did an amazing job of bringing people together. Um, so just my opportunity to meet people, like I said, that I've only heard on cassettes, and now it just builds those relationships that I literally had someone to call me the other day, and they said, I knew you were the right person to call. I often tell people I will never be homeless ever because I'm going to somebody's couch.
Right.
so so Pratt, gave it gave me those relationships, the close relationships that I would not have had, I don't think, had it not been for avenues as such as Cama.
Yeah, it sounds like Cama has truly become an a cappella family in a
Oh
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
most
So,
most definitely.
yeah, tell us, what awards have you won?
Some of my kids have won some awards. Um, I don't know if I got some of the year. What's the one where you honor someone for being in the music for a while? What is that one called?
Lifetime.
I was on Lifetime. I was honored with Lifetime one time. That was
Yes.
pretty cool.
Well, that tells us that you don't do this for awards.
No,
That really it's about the message and God. Terry, has been so wonderful, wonderful talking to you, and I thank you for joining us during this conversation.
thank you. God bless you all. Can't wait to see you all again.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye. Hey, you. Yeah, you. You out there. Hey, come sing with me. Come on, get your ticket to Cama 2024.
Don't miss out. Get your tickets for Cama 2024.
It was so wonderful talking to Terri Mays. Of course, she is busy working and serving in the church, so we were just so glad to have a few minutes with her. But now we're going to talk a little bit to Al Pratt and John Edmerson. And first of all, I just want to take a moment and have you explain what is CAMA, what does that stand for? And then I also see NA CAMA, what does that stand for? In case people are like, what is all this CAMA talk about?
Certainly. Let me just share that. I appreciate the opportunity to do so. So, Cama is where we started from, actually. It stands for the Christian Acapella Music Awards, but it's really an offshoot of what we call NACAMA, which is the National Academy of Christian Acapella Music Artists. And so, if you think about an association, that would be NACAMA, and the awards program, which is actually CAMA. And so that's what that is.
Okay. All right. Now, Al, can you tell us a little bit how NACAMA got started and the CAMA, the awards aspect of it? Can you just let us know how this all got started? And I mean, what a vision you had to share with the Church of Christ as well as just all over the world.
Certainly. So my background actually is music, but it was R&B music, and so that's kind of where I came from. So when I came into the church, I pretty much began working with a young group called the Four Christian Stars, and we were traveling all over the country, and we would meet all of these other artists, Straight Company, Johnny Wilder Jr., the Melody Airs, Brett Testerman, Echo, all these different groups, and so realized over a short period of time that we were all out here doing weekend warrior type things, doing concerts and programs and everything for the Churches of Christ, but there didn't appear to be any kind of recognition. And unfortunately, we had in 1992 a Hurricane Andrew down in South Florida, which became, in a sense, a catalyst to kind of bring us together to do something. And so when those two things occurred as it relates to the need to recognize and appreciate, show appreciation to the artists who were out here doing such a wonderful work, and then with the hurricane, it just came together, and we thank God for it.
Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. So really it sounds like this has been quite the journey for you for at least 30 years. I mean, who's really been instrumental in helping this vision become a reality? I know your son Zoe was very valuable in contributions made to Cama over the years. Can you talk a little bit about him as well?
Oh, certainly. So again, in 1992, Zoe was about 11 years of age, and we really had a small group out of a congregation. It was Hallandale Beach Church of Christ there in Hallandale, Florida, who worked with us. But I have to tell you that even from a young age, Zoe was right there and helping with every aspect of Cama in terms of him growing up and kind of seeing the vision that we had. And so the intent really, and I just share this in this manner, but the intent was that I was going to be diminishing as it relates to the lead, and he was going to take over. But God had His own ways, and so anytime we want to make plans, make sure we check with God first.
Right.
But Zoe was just instrumental in every aspect of Cama, and I thank God for him. But not only was it Zoe, but also my late wife Ruby, who was just there with us in every aspect of Cama, and so that was a great thing. But Zoe, yes, did a great job. Hey, don't wait. Get your tickets now for Jacksonville, Florida, the 2024 Christian Acapella Music Awards.
Oh, that's wonderful. It definitely takes a team. It definitely takes a family supporting the vision. So that's just absolutely a beautiful example. And John, your family is a beautiful example of that as well. I mean, you have been seriously involved in singing, creating, and producing gospel music, I'd say for at least 35 years or more. What did it mean to you as an artist to win the prestigious Cama?
Yeah, it was a thrill of a lifetime. Brother Pratt and I met around the early 2000s. I'd always heard about Cama, but we really met through and by Johnny. And we, just very cordial. We invited him to come to the lectureship in '07. He came, and it was just we just hit it off. And then when he was doing Cama in 2008, I was talking with him about assisting him, and he invited me to help him out. And really, we've been running tight ever since. It has been a blessing to work with him. I've been nominated, and I've won the Lifetime Achievement Award, which I didn't really feel like at the time I was old enough to do something like that. But I'm north of 50, so I guess I'm in that frame. So I'm just humbled to be in the company of, Sylvia Rose and Ron Walker and just so many others. And I'm grateful to Brother Pratt for even recognizing what little ability God has given me. And I'm looking forward to doing more. So thank you to Pratt. Thank you to Cama. I appreciate the encouragement. And I really feel like the best is yet to come. So I'm going to try to shorten my answers in Thurka. Sorry.
That might be a little bit challenging, John. Might be. So this question is going to be for all of you. Stevie B, I want you to jump in on this too. Because I know the work that goes into these projects, just from working with John on various aspects on his projects. I remember back in the day, John, when you would drive city to city, state to state in your Ford Escort, selling tapes and CDs, trying to get the music out. It really was this indelible model of dedication, commitment, and perseverance. But I know you weren't the only one. So can each of you kind of give some names of some artists that have really laid the foundation for this very moment?
Well, I think the Straight Company, that's the first group that comes to my mind, because even before I was really into a cappella gospel music the way I am now, I'm all in now. But before I even got really into it, I always heard Straight Company. because I always liked their sound. And now that I'm actually doing this full time, and I have relationships now that I've established with these artists, so I can say I actually know who these people are. That means a lot. Playing music, because I never thought I'd be able to just play music on the radio and then actually be able to talk to artists the way that I'm talking to them. So it's like a dream come true to me, because I've always wanted to do radio growing up. So I'm actually living out my dream now. And I'm always bragging on these acapella artists, because the music that we're putting out now is a high quality. This is no ragtag music that we're doing here, and we can compete with any other genre. So I'm just proud of the company that I'm keeping now. So I just thank God for it.
John, I know you could go back. I've only been in the church about 45 or so years, and so I might be a little short. But when I think about it, I go back to groups like Renaissance, and then, as he
Yes.
indicated, Tabernacle, Straight Company. I named a few earlier when I talked about acapella, Echo, Brett Testament, Timothy Tibble, Four Christian Stars, Melody Ayers, Southwestern Christian College, in the groups that they had every year. And so there were just so many. Verse 4. I mean, we go back with so many different Exodus and all those groups that were coming up in the uh, 80s and 90s, and Dothan Ayers. And I know it kind of regressed in terms of trying to pull some of those names, but there were just so many who we were seeing on a weekend basis, as we traveled quite a bit with the Four Christian Stars. And so we were all over the country. And if those groups were not national travelers, many of them were regional at least. And so we run into so many. And yes, there were just a lot of them.
And I would probably add Willie Norwood, the Southside Singers. I would add, of course, Brother Bush and that whole Alabama connection.
Definitely inner city.
I would add Sister Wells and the Northeast and the Eastern Airs out of Chicago. Was that Jesse Bishop and the Crusaders?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I
I mean,
agree.
it's just
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
many that kind of paved the way. But for me
Yeah.
personally, it would have been Ron Walker, would have been Willie Norwood, Southside, Renaissance, and Acapella. Those were my groups that I just admired, and of course the late Johnny Wilder Jr. and Straight Company.
And then we think about ASAP and Northside
Right.
Ensemble from Jacksonville. Uh, the, I mean, just so many. You hate to kind of call names because you know you're going to miss
Don't
somebody.
miss somebody.
Exactly, you're going to be in big trouble. But yeah, there were so many, and still are quite a few.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to
What?
come from this from a different angle, because I'm still new to this. So there's just a lot of groups that I'm not familiar with. So now, since I'm playing the music, now I'm getting to see who the artists are, and
Right.
and it's I haven't even scratched the surface yet. You know.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here thinking, then you have to go back to soul influence. I mean, you have to go to
Right.
uh, Christian Brothers. You have to go. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. Let me stop.
Yeah. Get your tickets now for Cama 2024. You can get all of your ticket information at nakama.com. That's www.nakama.com.
Well, those
That,
are. I mean, that's a. Oh, go ahead, John.
so in Thurka, one of the new things we're doing this year at Cama is we're introducing a hall of service. And the objective behind the Hall of Service is to do what we've just done, is to recognize the men and women and artists and ensembles and choir directors that have really laid the foundation for a cappella music. I don't know if now's a good time, but maybe Pratt can share with us what he had in mind when he came up with that brilliant idea of the Hall of Service.
Well, simple. We have the Rubel Lifetime Award, which is our highest achievement. Uh, but that's only like one artist typically every 2 years. And when you think about it, there are so many outstanding artists who have, again, paved the way in Churches of Christ. And again, the era that I'm sort of coming from is probably from the 80s. And I'm sure there are so many other groups who were there even before then. But as we learn about these other groups, we certainly want to add them into it. The idea is simple. They have done such a great job. We need to recognize them in some manner. And so it's our take on what I guess others would call a hall of fame, but we're calling it a hall of service because of the service that they provided to the church, their communities, and elsewhere. And so instead of doing one, it is our intent to take a look at perhaps 7 to 9 or so groups, such as what happened just recently with ASAP, who has decided in a formal manner that they would not continue as a group to sing together. And so we know that there are so many who have either stopped or perhaps not being able to travel as much as they used to, and we certainly will want to recognize them.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I know that as artists, they're not doing things for awards, but when you work so hard to put out a wonderful product and you're trying to encourage people and edify people, then I think it's nice to have the opportunity to be acknowledged.
This is Al Pratt. You have been watching the Church of Christ Digital Network.
So, Cama 2024 is coming soon. What is it like, Al and John, to work together to bring this event to even newer generations across the country?
John, if I could kind of share, because you were being somewhat humble earlier, two things I have to tell you about John. Um, yes, I did go to Cincinnati and I saw the work that he did with the National Leadership Lectureship Program. But actually, John sort of saved me. I was down in Houston, Texas, and getting ready to sign some hotel contracts, and they had all been a real challenge for me. And he stepped in and, in a professional manner, took over that task, and he has been doing that since that time there, 2008, I believe, in Houston. And I thank God for him. He has been a godsend. And so, with Zoe not being available to me, I looked around and tried to find who would have the passion, who would have the skill sets, and who was known to the industry as it relates to a true professional, and he was the person. And so I thank God for him being able to assist and stepping up to assist me and my family as it relates to my daughter Kelly, who is also working with us a lot behind the scenes, but working with us. And so I'm looking forward to him assisting. But this year, we are just thinking that with all the things that we're doing already and the things that he's putting in place, even such as this talk that we're having, we're looking to have the greatest program that we've ever had, and looking forward to 2024 Thanksgiving weekend there in Jacksonville.
That's great. John, what's it like to work with Brother Pratt on this event?
Pratt is a legend. I mean, he
Don't mind.
he is a legend. He's so highly revered among those of us who do a cappella music. We all have a lot of love and respect for the effort that he's put forth. A lot of people don't know we don't have a lot of corporate sponsors. We don't have a lot of congregations behind Cama. For the most part, it's Brother Pratt and his family that has served as the foundation to really make it happen. Cama grew out of his love for a cappella music, his love for the church, his love for the very artists that do music. And we've just seen him work. We've seen him sacrifice. We've seen him labor. And it's just, I'm just in awe. I'm grateful, and I'm looking forward to playing the role that he's asked me to play and to lend to Cama whatever talent and ability God has given me. I could not want more than to see Cama grow, to see Cama double, to see Cama, take over Jacksonville, and to see our artists, nominated for Dove Awards and Grammys and all of that. And it kind of starts here. Things take time, but it's just been a blessing to work with Pratt. I saw his vision clearly back in the early 2000s, and we're still working on it, and I'm looking forward to helping to bring it to pass.
That's absolutely excellent. So Stevie B, you
Yeah.
have a show called Gospel Music Blast, and it features a lot of these artists that you all were talking about earlier. Tell us about your show and how can we listen to some more of these artists?
Well, my show is primarily for those who love a cappella gospel music. So I had a vision that, okay, I'm not going to play anybody on my radio show that I'm not actually talking to, because I had to establish these relationships. It's just been a phenomenal experience. So if you are a lover of acapella gospel music, you're really going to enjoy what you're hearing on my broadcast. You can listen to these shows. I'm on Blog Talk Radio. That's the website. There's a website. You can go to that website, www.blogtalkradio.com/Gospel Light Radio Show. Or you can call to the show live to talk to me live. I'd love to holler at you while I'm on the air. 713-955-0508. And that's what we're doing on Friday night. Now, it's called The Blast because I have a military background. And I've always envisioned myself flying in airplanes and jets and dropping bombs. So that's what I'm doing on that radio show. We're dropping bombs. And Dorian Paul Williams, he's formerly of that R&B group, the Gap Band. He even said on one of our interviews, he said, "Man, what kind of bombs are those you dropping?" He said, "Those are not Gap Band bombs, them Christian bombs." Bombs too,
This is John Edmerson, and you're watching the Church of Christ Digital Network.
So it's been great. We have the song of the week that I do, and when I feature my song of the week, I try to bring the artists on the show so they can talk about these songs, and we get to hear the backstory behind these songs. Who wrote the songs? Who produced the songs? So we're doing my song of the week. We're doing my monthly triple spin. We're featuring 3 singles from the same artist that I play for every show for that month, just to give those artists some exposure. So we're just putting on some great shows because if you're a lover of acapella gospel music, I think you'll really enjoy what you're hearing on these shows every Friday night.
Well, great. Well, we're going to get into the experience for Cama 2024 in just a moment. I want to acknowledge that Stevie B has been a winner of one of the Cama Awards. Stevie B, I know you have it nearby, don't you? Yeah, there you go.
And
What'd you get your award for?
I make sure when I do my videos, because I promote these shows every week for the show advertisement, and I always make sure this Cama Award is visible in those videos. I'm proud of this award. I mean, this is something that I never thought I would receive because I didn't think people in radio got awards, but hey, it's just, I've been outstanding. I'm just humble.
Oh, well, that's...
Because I love what I'm doing. You can tell I love my work. Just hear
yes,
my voice
indeed.
when I'm on the air. So I have fun on Friday nights.
Yes. So let's see here. John, tell us the dates for Cama 2024, and maybe you and Al can discuss what we're going to experience. It's truly going to be an experience.
So Cama is going to start on that Thursday night of Thanksgiving. We typically have a smaller concert for those who are gathered. Friday and Saturday, we start picking up steam. We typically do some workshops. We have some matinee concerts, some evening concerts. This year, we're introducing a picnic gathering to honor the late Renette Chapman out of the Jacksonville area. And that's probably going to take place on sometime Saturday. Then the huge award nights is Saturday night. And that's when we have the largest gathering of our weekend. We've had as many as a couple thousand show. When we went to Houston, it was packed to the rafters, and we've had a lot of great turnouts over the years, and that's exactly what we're shooting for this year. So that's kind of a layout of the entire weekend. And what makes Cama such a great value is you can get that price for that whole weekend for one low price. And with this being pre-recorded, I want to encourage you to go to Cama.com to see what that price is at the time that you're looking at this video. It may have changed. But if you go to Cama.com, Nacama.com, you'll see a weekend ticket price. And that one price gets you into all of the events for the weekend. So that's kind of a thumbnail sketch of what we're going to be doing. Have I missed or overlooked anything, Brother Pratt?
No, I think you covered it quite well. I think the intent is, as we break it down just a little more in detail, uh, the reason that we do, first of all, Thanksgiving weekend is from a travel standpoint. Typically, most people are either off on Thanksgiving. They many times get off on Wednesday evening and the whole day of Thanksgiving, and the Friday they have off also. And so typically we do that because of the travel abilities for individuals who are coming. And then they are back to work on Mondays. And so that's the rationale behind the start. Again, this time we want to add into it the induction service for those individuals that we talked about at the Hall of Service, and that picnic. I think this is just going to be a great time that we'll have for that weekend.
That sounds absolutely great. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Look forward to seeing you all there. So, well, we're gonna finish up with just give us a few words about what NACAMA, or even a Cama Award, what does that mean to all of you as artists, as producers? What does it mean to the Church of Christ to have this event and this organization? We'll start with you, Stevie B.
I think it shows that we matter in what we're actually doing. Our primary goal should be the promotion of the gospel of Christ. And that's what we're trying to do, but we're doing it in song. And I have other programs where we do it in the actual preaching of the gospel. But we're doing this in song, and we're trying to sow the seed of the kingdom, but we're doing it through song. So this is the kind of attention that we're trying to muster here. We're trying to save souls.
That's great, John.
Yeah, I would say two things. I think we're definitely trying to be in step with where gospel music is today. We're working to develop to continue to develop our music where it can be radio ready and right in step with the Fred Hammonds and the Kirk Franklins and the others, if not a step up in terms of our production quality. So we were the first to do a cappella music, going all the way back to the first century. And we want to show today that we can still do it and do it well. In addition to that, we want to be relevant. We want to, want people to know that a cappella it still works. We have, of course, a lot of different styles of music, but a cappella is it for us. And we want to demonstrate that quality a cappella music is right in harmony, right in step, if not leading in many ways. Instruments as we understand them were crafted to mimic the human voice, not the other way around. I always enjoy creating and coming up with different production ideas so people can see how versatile a cappella music really is. So we hope that Cama will be a big part of continuing to play in that space. And again, my gratitude to Pratt and this vision for bringing us this far.
Amen.
Brother Al, do you have anything to add?
Certainly. So, as I indicated, being a former R&B musician, when I came into the church, uh, I found it to be the best kept secret in the world, to be honest with you. had never even heard of the Church of Christ when I obeyed the gospel until that very day. Um, but what I did find out later is that we have the right, according to the Word of God, to pay honor or give honor to whom honor is due. And I just thought it would be right to encourage these individuals, these great men and women of God, boys and girls of God who uh, are sharing in their own way the skill that they have been blessed with. And what's wrong with just encouraging them? I didn't think anything wrong with it. And so that's what we kind of started with. The passion was to love music, um, and wanted to just be able to say to them, keep on going, keep on doing what you're doing because it's a wonderful thing. It certainly has brought me out of many situations as it relates to just the ability to listen and listen to the words and just the melodies and just the beauty of a cappella music. And so we want to continue that, but we want to, as John indicated, take it even further. Brother Johnny Wilder always talked to us about the quality and making sure that we are doing the things that we needed to do to be able to be radio ready, to encourage our people to get the skills and understand how this industry works. And so, for all of those reasons, I think Cama is still, there's a major need for it, especially as we go into our younger generations. And so we're just hoping to do a better job at it, encouraging people, having a great time. And this year we're moving back to our gala. And so for our sisters, it's time to bring out that gown and enjoy bringing it out for once a year or whenever you do bring it out. And our brothers with your tuxes and anything else you want to do. But we just want to have a grand old time at this year's award program.
That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It has been wonderful to have a conversation with Al Pratt, John Edmerson, Terri Mays, and Stevie B about Cama 2024 coming up November 28th through the 30th at Jacksonville, Florida. We want you to go to www.Nakama, that's N as in Nancy, A, C as in cat, A, M as in Mary, A.com, NACAMA.com for more information and more details. Well, thank you very much. This has been the Church of Christ Digital Network. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hey, don't wait. Get your tickets now for Jacksonville, Florida, the 2024 Christian Acapella Music Awards.